Hello and welcome. You are watching The Reaction with me, Monkajukup and Charlie. We are here to serve again. It's been a while. I'm here. That's all that matters. And while I've been away, I've heard so many top stories, and I'm here to also have a hint on that. Provide you with the right details that you need, all that you need to hear is what I'm bringing to you. Clearly, today, top of our stories today, we are talking about Ghana's shackles or golden shackles. Why wealth without wisdom would never save us. This is very topical, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on this. So clearly, join me with it. And today, our topic is just one. Ghana's golden shackles. Why wealth without wisdom would never save us. This is an article on the Daily Graphic, if I'm getting it right. Yes. So the graphic online is what I'm reading from, plus some other stories around. Look, over the last few days, we've been hearing stories, so many stories, very unnecessary. If you ask me, very unnecessary. And that further paints the kind of people we are and the kind of people we are growing into and why we are growing into such kind of barbaric thinking people. Look, on any day, the story about Samija Jaifi, the story, look, me near who here and to me, mom, the cameras and me, yeah, it's not needed. It is not. On no occasion should a country, a reasoning people found in a particular jurisdiction decide to make $800 a topical issue, all portals talking about it. For what? For what? For what? No, no reasonable person. Look, so that clearly also shows that these political parties, especially the opposition parties, have also shown us over the years, every opposition party, excuse my language, are not thinking right. Especially these current opposition parties. The current opposition parties. How on earth will you grant a whole press conference? And I blame these media people. Sometimes you have to rethink about the invitations given to you by these opposition parties in the name of what? We are here to share our displeasure on why one human being in government, who is just one human being, has decided to give out a gift, a whole press conference on a gift. When did this start? This is my prelims conversation, and I don't intend to go back to it again. Today I visited Graphic Online, and there is this serious article written, also dated May 17, 2025. I have other angles to it. I'll just bring it. I'm here to dissect it because this makes a lot of sense. Which, look, good articles are supposed to be looked into. Opinions, adwenkyerɛ wɔ twi mu yɛsɛ adwenkyerɛ na yɛde bu mind. Two heads are better than one in simple terms. Adwenkyerɛ na yɛde bu mind. Yɛbɛhwɛ mu wɔ ha sɛ these opinion, he is not a politician, if you care to know. It was written by Kukuku Kwesi Kukuru Opon Asari. I hope Ejare, sorry, I hope I got the name right. Kukuku Kwesi Kukuru Opon Ejare. Opon Ejare the way Ejaye. So his headline says Ghana's golden shackles. Why wealth without wisdom will never save us. Why wealth without wisdom will never save us. Mekan ye will tell say, hey, Charlie Akwano Abasem so truly. The time now mo discuss Samuel left, Samuel right. Is he right? Is he wrong? Was he bowed people, bowed headed people? Oh, we deem them as once you are old in our communities, once you are old, you can think right. Look at the likes of Ayaba. I think again. Yeah, where are we going to? I won't get diverted by whoever he is and his affiliations to some rubbish political party who are now finding their feet. MPP, they are behaving like infants. infants. They are still breastfeeding. Meanwhile, they've forgotten that they are part of the nation building agenda. The growth we want to see in our communities, the MPP have forgotten they are part of it. Nobody should say we don't need opposition. We need them. However, if the opposition is as stupid, excuse my language, and as good for nothing, we won't waste time on them. We won't waste time on them. Let's move. Ijari, say we are a country blessed beyond measure, sitting on gold, oil, cocoa, bauxite, timber, arable lands, and human potentials. Come on, true or false? True. The human resource that we have here is in abundance and so to the extent that look at all these human resources we export year in, year out. Look at how beneficial they have been to the world. Go to US of A, you find the Ghanaian communities there. Go to look, even if we track back as quick as possible, take our first president at the time he left the country, moved into abroad, was learning in Europe. Look at his exploits over there, forming the black agenda, where he was trying to bring out, sensitize his people that we are moving back to rescue our country from neo-colonialism, from colonization, from the inhumane act of our then leaders. For me, I will regard the leaders, the first leaders of the UGCC, as inhumane, barbaric, unreasonable people. Very, very. I won't cap any worse. They deserve it wherever they are. They did us dirty. Look, we won't waste time on it. They forgot that this country at the time was still blessed with oil, with gold, with diamonds, with bauxite, with good people. And that with the right leadership, the best could have been taken out of them. Yeah, into so any new colonialism, you catch it, you say, it won't happen. It won't. Do you agree with me? It will not. Wherever you are sitting, just tell yourself, it will not happen. That new colonialism will not happen. It won't. Let's move on. These are yet, after decades in independence, we still struggle to feed ourselves, build basic infrastructure, or produce the goods we consume. As a people, we have been so brilliant in consuming knowledge in the books. However, putting it into practice has become so difficult for us. 50 years, 60 years down the lane, as independent people, as a sovereign nation, our academics has always sought to give knowledge to people. Putting it into practice becomes a very difficult challenge. And I don't understand why. Is it that the government, the successive government have always not provided the enabling environment to allow these knowledgeable people thrive? We've gotten to a point where people are always chasing Godfather, my godson, my godfather, my godmother. In politics, these politicians have also taken a different strategy. So if you get into the tertiary levels, they have the TN, they have the TESCON, and these politicians, these bald-headed people, have also gone there. So once they find the SRC president of the school, when his affiliations, they find the leadership of the team, the leadership of the TESCON, they say we are grooming you. Check the young communicators of all the political parties. They are all from these TN and the TESCONs. Look at their thinking. Look at this young man, Kwesibotu Jr. from the MPP side. Man, huge knowledge. He has forgotten that he has gone to school. He has a lot of knowledge in his head. He forgets that. In the name of politics and party talks, and he's following the footsteps of a so-called godfather. The human resource at the end of the day does not benefit anybody. Look at the 7-year development plan of His Excellency Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the former president and the first president of this country. Look at it. To the extent that we were school at the time, we were school, baby school, letter the whole train with Duma. And then they are political party, this year, bet you Duma, Duma, dear. Mother, you know their policies, it's the aftermath and the result of the policy you've implemented. Into find another one. Say his flagship program now or implemented free education. You've implemented it. What is the result? At the end of the day, what did we get out of it? Was it positive? Was it negative? Is this something that we should relook at? And in this country, at the time the NPP were in government, if you had mentioned that these young people being groomed or given academic knowledge or formal education would have to come out and be so much beneficiaries to this community that we are building as Ghana. If you told him that, oh, XYZ, as an opposition, you feel XYZ is not something that will help us out in the long run, he'll tell you that review means cancellation. What nonsense? What kind of thinking is this? Look, wodwene ho a wonte aseɛ kɔ w'anim wobisa sɛ nti mpanyinfoɔ yi koraa wɔn na etu wɔn fo. So just as we used to wobɛte Kennedy Jakwasi who watches the watchman. This one who thinks for the thinker. Who thinks for the thinker? Who? Who is doing the advice to this president we are having? Say why? Because without wisdom, because wealth without wisdom is a curse, not blessing. And it seems like that. He's not far from wrong at all. Mr. Jared is not far from wrong. He is not far from wrong. If you just joined us, you are treating a particular beautiful topic. You see that Ghana's golden shackles, why wealth without wisdom will never save us. Why wealth without wisdom is never going to save us. This is the story from Graphic Online. They are still doing like can just join us. If you read, then I try to bring more insights to it. But it's very important that we do this. It's very important. So if you have time, you just go to Daily Graphic or graphiconline.com. You read and get the insights from him. So I'll jump from this end. So he further made comments about the 4 to 8 year course of Ghana's politics, and I'm wondering that do you side with him? So Ghana's democratic system has failed to deliver the long-term stability and development we need. Clearly, it's true. The development we've been yearning for as a people, we've never gotten. Look, recently we're told that over a decade ago, the Kufuor government handed over a particular contract to one Zoom Lion, the Jospon Group, where it has never yielded any positive result since the very first day they signed the contract. And yet, government upon government, successive governments come and what they do is hand him a new contract. If not for today, but when eyes open, it open clear. If you are not seeing my eye, don't worry, look, we open our eyes. This resetting agenda by the NDC and Yafo, Yafa. The NDC now called just a big being in Yamanati. No, these 4 years, 8 years, I say, I want more black pay, breaking the eight. Few months ago, I was here and breaking the eight. Breaking, was Fakofi could break it. Go home and go and break it. I'm sure wherever they find themselves, they are breaking it. Look, leadership over the years have been too poor. Now, I want to ask, have we elected the right people to lead us over the years? So it's in twofold. First question, have we as a people having the power to elect, have we elected the right people to lead us? Two, have the right people we claim we've elected, have they been good enough for us? It's time for us to assess ourselves. It is high time we begin to assess ourselves. You miss out your honest questions, truthful questions that at the end of the day it will benefit our nation, because we need to sustain the present generation for the future generations to come. 4 years neighbor implement. Look, some of the things I have to hold on to with dear grab. I'm not ready to engage into any ABI. Nti ohwɛ mu yie paa hɔ naa na medwane yɛ from graphic online. Please do what you read graphic online. The story I just picked from there. And it will help you a lot. I'm running back to my joy online. There is some beautiful supporting article over there, which was also written on the May 17, 2025. It was published as at exactly 2:45 p.m. or 45 minutes past 2. So it says that Africa's energy crisis rooted in leadership failures, not poverty. Africa's energy crisis rooted in leadership failures, not poverty. When the first story we treated, that one made it general. Look, our energy crisis is becoming or become. In the previous government, we had our former energy minister, the so-called Napu, he mentioned to the media that yes, the fluctuations that we are experiencing with our energy, which is our power in our houses, you're training and your own timetable. And Nancy, let me take this opportunity to also say this. Look, the kind of light out we are experiencing, and I'm too much. I understand the government is doing something about it, but it's too much. Look, who do the preku? Look, where I reside, when we do, sometimes within 5 minutes, you don't carry a bed 3 times. No, it will be a mistake. Yes, so can you done it with people, but you know, boom. The last time one house around us, in your missus is so, can you do you that one you're hearing? If so is to do any that too. And so about the didn't know. But do we say if you put off on your TV and you're watching your TV, and a then it's coming like that, then you don't want to say like that. Oh no, but TV, but you boom, huh? Can you? But in a boom, or blabbing. Well, Master, MPP, NDC government, we understand you are doing something positive. We beg you, if you have something to do with this light out crisis, your home be so open the whole day crying anyhow. The moment to do quack 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 again. You were bubble. Don't do that. Do you understand me? Don't do it. Yes, those people sitting at the ECG, I have a problem. How would a normal person put off light on it within 5 minutes, 3 times? Then yo. Sometimes we ain't pay for no more palala muguan. Then are you okay? What is wrong with you? If you put it on, put it on. If you put it on, put it on. That's it. Ninja was not motivated. Then why? Say Africa's energy crisis rooted in leadership failures, not poverty. Expert says we a call so over the last few days. So the Africa Sustainable Energy Dialogue, the flagship event of the Africa Sustainable Energy Center, convened on Friday, May 16th, to examine the root causes of Africa's persistent energy access challenges. Into many experts are gathered every year to discuss Africa's energy, right? As to whether it is one that will have positive effect on our economy or the African economy, right? That is there something that has seen growth over the year? What can they do? So it's more or less like we sit around to dialogue, to discuss, to judge the way forward in the energy sector when it comes to our continent, Africa. So he said that held virtually across the center's platforms, this year's dialogue was themed Bridging Africa's Energy Access Gap, Challenges, Innovations, and Path Forward. Says that the dialogue brought together leading voices in African energy who challenged common narratives around the continent's energy poverty and instead called for a deeper examination of structural politics, structural, political, and economic barriers. So when I quote them, it says that most often we hear that over 600 million Africans do not have access to electricity. We hope this doesn't become a cliche. It's on the doorsteps of the president, His Excellency. And here can is an almost more excuse. So speaking during the dialogue on the reason why energy access remains out of reach for over 600 million Africans, whether it is political, infrastructure, or economic, panelists made it clear that the issue goes beyond just a lack of resource. Clearly, I agree with them. It goes beyond that. The Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, Dr. Omar Farouk Ibrahim, offered a critical perspective. So Omar says that, I quote, I don't believe poverty is responsible for our not having access to energy. He said, and I quote again, Africa's biggest challenge is really visionary leadership. We lack political will. Our decisions often satisfy immediate wants rather than long-term goals. I think we see that's it. Every time our interest first. So this government, our NDC government, I'm only hoping and praying that this time around here they'll do the right thing. This is where we bring an end to the reaction with me, Kajibo. Thanks for joining. Please do want to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on all social media platforms. Thanks for joining. Bye.